views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hello and welcome to Open 2.0. I'm your host, Kayla Ellis.
And I'm your host, Catherine Hernandez.
The New York Writers Workshop is an alliance of published authors and professional writers of fiction, nonfiction, journalism, poetry, plays, and screenplays who live and teach not only in New York City, but across the globe.
These authors are dedicated to offering professional guidance that can help writers achieve their goals.
Please welcome to the show the president of the New York Writers Workshop, Tim Tomlinson.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
It's a pleasure to be here.
So our first question is, what does your organization do and how does it run?
The organization focuses on teaching workshops in all sorts of writing disciplines. So we teach fiction, we teach nonfiction, poetry, drama. We even had songwriting for a while, and if there's enough demand, we'll put it back on. So basically, if something is written, we teach it. We have a whole lot of teachers who are capable of doing quite a few things. Prior to the program beginning, we were talking about some of the work that I do, and pretty much all of our instructors are hybrid writers. They write poetry, fiction, screenplay. Everybody's kind of mapped out all over the place. It's a really professional group with all sorts of credentials. The workshops are open to beginning level, intermediate, advanced. And one of the hallmarks of New York Writers Workshop is the pitch conference. This is something that we've actually taken all across the world. The pitch conference invites people who have written manuscripts that are close to being finished or already complete. We talk about how to present those manuscripts to editors from the major publishing houses, and then we have the editors come into the workshops on Saturday and Sunday, and the writers pitch their story, pitch their book to an editor, and the editor might say, you know what, I want to take a look at that. So it's a way to kind of skip the middleman, skip the agent, and put manuscripts right on the desks of editors. So those are two of the major functions, workshops and conferences that facilitate access to publishing.
That's great. Wow. So what motivated you and the other individuals that you work with to start this program?
Most of us were working together prior to forming New York Writers Workshop. We were teaching at a place on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, and we decided that we'd been doing it for so long, knew each other well enough to trust our own judgment, and we formed our own organization, New York Writers Workshop, in the year 2000. We incorporated in 2001. And I think, we would be much further along with our success if we all weren't writers. So we're all writers. None of us are business people. None of us are administrators. So everything that we do is done by a handful of writers who are so busy with other things. And writers can't balance checkbooks, and we can't add a column of figures. So it takes us a lot longer to do simple things. But we put together the nucleus with a group of founders. We had 11 founders, and then little by little we've grown to 50 members. We keep on growing and we keep on expanding. We've been in the Bronx before, but this is our first time where we're actually talking to people other than visitors to libraries.
That's great.
And who attends these writers' workshops?
They're open to the general public. I think if we had to do a demographic or an analytic, would probably be adults from the ages of 30 to 50. That would probably be the average range. But we come summer break, we get high school students, college students, and we go all the way up to, actually, New York Writers Workshop is 3 divisions. We have the teaching division, New York Writers Workshop. We have Greenpoint Press, which publishes books, and we have DUCTS, D-U-C-T-S, which is a literary webzine. And Greenpoint Press, one of the books we published was a memoir by a guy who was 80 years old when it was published, and he's now I think 83 or 84, and it's sold very well. So we go all the way up to advanced senior citizen and all the way down to entry-level high school.
Wow. So you're just really involving all different aspects of the community within the workshop, right?
Yeah, that's really one of our goals. Our mission is to help anyone and everyone to cultivate their talent and express themselves as best as possible.
So please talk to us about the growth of the Writers' Workshop. I know earlier on you were talking about how it was more of an international thing now. So can you talk to us more about that?
The international thing is limited, but big in terms of our feeling of pride about it. So we first went to Australia a couple of years ago. One of our co-founders, Charles Salzberg, who is also a writer of great renown. He's published more books than a library full. It's incredible. He went down to Australia to talk about mystery writing and to run a pitch conference. That was about 3 years ago. I went down last year to do a pitch conference in Adelaide, Australia. My wife is from the Philippines. She's a writer as well, and we visit the Philippines on a regular basis. So we've done sessions just up and down the archipelago, as far down south as you can get in the Philippines and all the way up north, from the mountains to the coral reefs. We do a lot of work at universities that like to host us, and then we do a lot of private stuff as well, with libraries or museums. Those are our primary locations, although this year we did sessions in Thailand, in Chiang Mai, and we've gone to China. So we've done work in the Shanghai Literary Festival, Shanghai primarily. We lived there for 2 years, so I did some work there while I was living there. So anywhere we go, I try to set something up. Usually it's open to anyone and everyone for free, and then little by little, people start calling and asking us back. I just got a note from somebody in India who's saying, when might your itinerary take you this way? And, I said, as soon as you send me the plane ticket, we're there. So, yeah, we're very interested in taking it everywhere.
That's great. Wow.
Well, we're going to take a quick break. And stay tuned because we have more Open 2.0 coming up next.
Wow, these are really good.
You act surprised. Practice makes perfect.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. Picking a college, man. You and us go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Hello and welcome back to Open 2.0.
We're here with the president of the New York Writers' Workshop, Tim Tomlinson. So to continue questioning, what are the latest publications that have come out under the New York Writers' Workshop?
Do you mean from the writers or the staff or the students?
It could be both. It could be all three.
Then I get a chance to plug my own work. I love that. Perfect question. So my most recent publication is Yolanda, An Oral History in Verse. This is something that I did over in the Philippines. My wife, Deedle, and I interviewed people who had who survived the super typhoon in 2013. You guys may have heard of it. It killed over 10,000 people. We spoke to survivors, and we took transcripts, interview transcripts, and then I reconfigured the statements into poems. So that just came out. That's one of the reasons why I've been going around and talking to places and doing readings. Charles Salzberg has, I mean, every time I turn around, he has a new novel. He's writing a series about a detective named Swan. It began with Swan's Last Song, but it wasn't his last song. Now I think he's on the 4th volume. One of our poets, Mary Stewart Hammond, has a book coming out very soon. She publishes often in the New Yorker. Rita Gabus published a memoir recently. She discovered that an uncle, I think an uncle of hers that she really loved growing up, had actually been a member of the Gestapo in Nazi Germany, and then I think he was actually a prison guard in a concentration camp as well. So she's been getting a lot of coverage. It's an astonishing story and very well done. So many others. Our people publish on a regular basis. And among the students, I should mention that, you know, one of the biggest feathers that in our cap, if we can claim responsibility for this, is The Devil Wears Prada. That novel came through Charles Salzburg's workshops. He was instrumental in shaping the work that the writer did, and then getting her to the people who eventually put it out in the form that we know of today. So that was a huge success, and you know, financially and commercially.
That is amazing. So, what you've been talking about all these great members and participants in this workshop. Besides those things, what are some things about the workshop that makes it unique?
Well, I don't know if it's unique, but it's one of the things that we say on our website is that it's by writers for writers. So I'm not sure if other workshops similar to ours are run by writers alone. They would probably be crazy to do that, so this is not a model that works in the business world. That might be one unique component. We're very heavily craft-based, right? So when people come into our workshops, we don't really talk about theory, we talk about getting work on the page, which on a certain level is a theory in itself. But I think most of us believe fervently that the best way to learn writing is to write as much as you can, and then to have groups of readers and instructors comment on the way the writing is working. So we're not really attached to any particular theory of writing. We're attached to the idea of getting as many pages done as possible and then having a lot of work to comment on.
Okay. And for contact information, what would you guys like, how we can contact you, how we can contact the workshop in general?
The website is www.newyorkwritersworkshop.com. There are email clicks available on that. Some of them will go to me, but I think you can also contact some of the faculty directly. newyorkwritersworkshop@gmail.com. That goes to me and a couple of other people, and that's usually where we get, that's where you guys contacted me. So that's a handy email for us. Yeah, that's the contact info.
Okay. Well, thank you for coming to Open 2.0. We appreciate you guys being here. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today.
We'll see you next time right here on more Open 2.0.